Oh, oh god. Alright. Hey guys, what's up? I'm just freaking. I don't even know. But I'm a vampire rockstar dude. And I don't even know. You ever like wonder, like, you want to give like a status update? Someone's like, "What's the status?" Someone's like, "What's what?" Wall dog. I need to know what's the status right now. And like everybody, everybody's in office chairs, sitting at desks. For some reason, it's like Star Wars, where it's like on the that like what is that big like the big it's like the Doom Star or something like that. Anyways, everybody's all dressed up and everybody's like turning like their chair. Everybody pauses. They're like turning their chairs, and like everyone's looking. And there's this character, which would be my character, talking about myself in third person because I'm weird. And in the third person version of me, Wall Dog's just like the status. And like the officer that asked the question, who's like a Sith Lord or whatever, like a Jedi, but like a Sith Lord guy. He's like, "Yes, the status. I asked you a question, Wall Dog." And my character's like, I don't I don't even know. I don't even know what the status is right now. I couldn't tell you. My computer's not working correctly. And there's like some laughter in the background. And then in the Sith Lord is like, "You gotta be freaking kidding kidding me, Wall Dog." you got you got you got one job. You got smoke alarm. Smoke alarms make me laugh. It's like, and my character is just like, "I know. I'm usually I'm usually pretty good at this. I'm usually pretty good at telling the status of things, but there's something wrong with my computer." And the Sith Lord's just like, "There's nothing wrong with your computer, Wall Dog." And like the Sith Lord like walks up, just being a complete asshole at this point. He's like looking at it. He's like, "You just you're supposed to interpret these numbers, Wall Dog. You're supposed to interpret what the heck this computer is saying and tell me what the status is." I'm like, "I know, but they like keep making excuses. I like don't have any. My character doesn't have an answer at all." But that's how I feel right now. I don't even know. It's like my brain, like my smoke alarm. It's like my brain is just like, man, I don't even know anymore. My brain's trying to make sense of things. It's like, of like things it is not designed for. My brain's just like, I've stopped trying. It is it is past the point of complicated. It is just it you know it is past that is the status. The status is that it is way past the point of complicated. Like it stopped like things stopped making sense months ago. My brain's just like, I'm just being honest with you, man. My brain's just like, you know what? I've been just like trying to give you a status update, wall dog. But at this point, I'm just tired. My brain's just like, man, I've been working real hard for you, but clearly you I don't know. Like I want to ask myself, like ask my body and ask my brain, like, am I tired? Am I sad? Am I happy? Am I just need to take a nap and sleep? Am I gonna wake up at a certain point at a certain time of day? In the morning, in the afternoon? My brain's just like, man, my brain's just like, if I could tell you, I would. My I can imagine my brain just being like this, like worn out character in a saloon. It's like in a western. There's just like this worn out guy sitting in the corner. He's just like he's just shaking his head. You ask him something, he just smiles and shakes his head. That is what my brain's telling me when I'm trying to do a status update on how I'm feeling. But I feel good. I mean, clearly I got the whole vampire thing going on right now. I got glowy skin, got glowy. I feel pretty numb. Feel pretty good. Got a lot of, I do want to say one thing that I'm proud of is that the quality of prayer that I've got that I'm doing, the quality of prayer is, I would say, pretty freaking good. I'm getting some really good prayer going. These last few days, it's like you ever do something, and you're just like, yeah, and like you just feel good afterwards. You do something like really well. May not, you know, you just feel that way, and you get a feeling. This is spiritual, and it's a spiritual feeling. You just feel good. That is my experience in prayer, and I am proud of that. Now, do you want to say one thing? I'm going to go ahead and brag. I'm going to go ahead and brag and take this opportunity to brag. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I am proud to be a vampire who prays to God and is I think I'll just just end it there. Period. You know, like the obstacles, the torment that I've received, being called all sorts of evil, countless times. And then to have, it sounds cliche, but I'll go ahead and say it, a close relationship with God. That's not a small thing. Not to me. And I can see it. I can see it in myself. I can see it in my eyes. I can see it in my demeanor. That I'm a person who is doing some things correctly. Or should I say the things that I think would have an influence on a person's demeanor, on their appearance. If I was all just like creepy, scary all the time, that like, oh, look at that creepy, scary guy over there who's not confident, who looks like he's, doing this and that and that, and he looks like he's out of his mind. And he's like, oh, no. So, I don't know. It does take a lot out of me. Thinking about when I'm thinking about, if I'm basically in the talking about spirituality, talking about, doing things correctly, being a believer in God and my faith. I've talked about in other videos, kind of having an outsider perspective on things, most things, because I am, supernatural. So, my outsider perspective when it comes to believing in God, I have that. It's not so much doubt. It's not the right word, but it's like, I don't know what the right word is, but it's like criticism of myself, like in my like how you're doing something, you're like, well, am I doing it right? You know, so, but I don't think that's a flaw so much as it makes logical sense. If I have an outsider perspective and I'm doing things from an outsider kind of way, uh, or at least I have that feeling of being an outsider since I'm, different. I don't think that's a bad thing. It may be a bad thing that that I'm fundamentally saying that there's something wrong with me, but there is a chip on my shoulder, and I realize, sometimes I forget. But I just that smoke alarm is driving me crazy. I'm sorry, you guys. I know it's really annoying. I'm sorry for these videos with the smoke alarm. I've talked about how I've tried to fix it, but I have no idea how to. It's like stuck to the wall. and I need to tomorrow. It's gonna be one of the things I try to get help with. But I do have a chip on my shoulder. I've talked about in other videos why I have that and why I place that there to keep me humble, to keep me humble, and to keep me in the mindset of wanting to help other people. To phrase it, to say it simply in those words. I know there's a lot of people who are frustrated. There's a lot of people, I think, grateful that I am the way I am. And there's a lot of people who are frustrated with me. There are a lot of smart people too. They're like, "Hey, bud, I know you got a chip on your shoulder. I know you have it there for the reason of your own making, but it's really seriously bothering me that you are holding on to that crutch for no reason. No, well, should I say, that person, there are some people who are like, hey, bud, just take care of yourself. That crutch or whatever, it's not necessary. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, and the person's like, well, I realize that you're living your own life, you're making your own decisions, but I'm this person, imaginary person. It's like, I'm smarter than you, and I know better, and I know I have more experience in this kind of thing. I'm telling you that crutch is just a bad idea. And you just don't have the understanding or experience to be able to visualize why. That's not something you should be doing. And I'm like, well, I can see that. I can see that, that potentially you are correct, and that I am incorrect. So, it's one of those things. Probably that specific thing is the one thing that I question myself, my decision making. And I toy with the idea of letting that chip off my shoulder go. I know how. It's just therapy, and allowing my supernatural abilities to get rid of it mentally. It's just a choice. And part of me is curious how I would be. Um, and part of me wants to say there'll come a time in which that'd be a good idea. And part of me wants to say that I'm not ready for that yet. was kind of weird. I was kind of had a weird earlier tonight. I was talking to a person, and I was like, "Hey, we're about the same age." I always feel weird when I talk about that. Like, oh, talking about age and stuff like that. When I talk about age, I get the feeling it's a weird thing. And I want to talk about this because it's interesting. I think it's an interesting thing. But my body gives a feeling. You ever say something, you feel like you're lying? When I talk about my age, I feel like I'm lying. My body's saying you're lying. It's weird. It's like, no. It's like, hey, we're the same age. My body's like, hey, you're not telling the truth. I'm like, like I literally just like, I'm not sure what the word is. It's not a groan, but it's a sigh. I'm like, ugh. I'm like talking to, like imagining like a imaginary conversation with myself. Like, can I at least, can you, my body, like trying to communicate with my body, like I'm not really having this conversation with my body, but like if I'm for therapy's sake, me venting and talking creatively, I would say to my body, I'm like, can you please at least pretend, just for a moment, can you at least give me this moment where I'm relating to a person? Can you not see? My body's like, nah, you are lying, sir. I'm like, well, actually, on paper, my body's like, nah, I don't give a damn about paper. Damn it. Come on, Bulldog. Can't you see that this is reality? That I am this many years, and this is reality. Dang it. My body's like, nah, tell the real truth. I'm like, what is the real truth? My body's like, well, you don't age like that person that you're speaking to because you're supernatural. And I'm like, well, gosh darn, I'm not going to say that. My body's like, why? That's the truth. I'm like, well, you know what? You got a point. But I have no idea how to say that to someone because it's weird. And I'm like, my body's like, it's not weird. There are weirder things in life than you telling the truth from your own perspective. And I'm like, well, gosh darn. I'm like, I don't want to sound weird in front of somebody that I'm kind of shy around or whatever. My body's like, well, you being shy is not good enough reason. And I'm like, well, anyways. When I was younger, it was pretty funny. I had a, trying to, you ever trying to make sense of things? It's like when something happens, you try to make sense of it, and you like start, having conversations, try to have like make logical sense of something. I had a pretty funny conversation with myself when I was younger. Uh, after I became a vampire, uh, in regards to aging, and the part of my brain that this is kind of hard for me to talk about, and I'm sorry for the smoke alarm again. I apologize, um, but it's good for me to talk about this. There's a part of my brain that was still transitioning when I was younger, and adjusting to becoming a vampire. And in regards to my mortality, there's a part of my brain that was still confused, and my age and my appearance, stuff like that. And I had to reason with that part of me. Uh, and basically, at one point, I kind of accepted, I suppose is the right phrase. I accepted, the change. And that part of my brain that concerned itself about my age and mortality um, essentially went dormant, went turned off, or at least it stopped bothering me. I stopped thinking about it, and I don't like to think about it. Sometimes when I feel like the expression pulling somebody's leg, that expression. Sometimes I pull my own leg, so to speak. I'm like I start thinking about what I just described. You know, the whole concept of uh, mortality and time, and aging, and I pulled my leg on that one because I'm like, you ever see those videos of those animals? It's usually like a dog or whatever, and like there's a person with like a hose, and there's water or whatever, and the dog's trying to like the dog's like, man, I want some water. I don't like these videos, by the way, because I feel like they're mean. I feel like it's like, but the dog's just like, well, this is kind of fun, but this is clearly not what I want. I want a doggy bowl. I want water. I want a doggy bowl, but this is kind of interesting. My brain doesn't quite know what to do. This is, yeah, I see water, and I want, but I don't really know what to do. It's kind of funny. But that's essentially what my brain does. My brain's just like, well, I want to make sense of this, but it's just like, I don't know what to do. I'm not designed for drinking water out of a hose. I want a doggy bowl. But anyways, I'm gonna get some rest because I've had about enough of that smoke alarm, and I'm probably gonna watch a movie or probably watch some anime actually. Start a new anime, play some video games, get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna run a lot of errands, get things done. That's the plan, at least. I am really, really stroking my beard right now. I'm clearly, agitated. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. And thanks y'all for watching. Have a good night.